All right, welcome to another video. This is most likely a first video, but welcome to another. Yeah, this is a video in my Bible reading series of the NIV, which stands for New International Translation version of the Bible, and I'm doing a series reading through it, one chapter per video at a time. And in this video, I'm gonna be reading through Genesis 43. Because I think last video I did 42. All right, I think I got 40 through 42 uploaded. Yeah. So Genesis. Okay, so let's see. In the last chapter, Genesis 42. Let me skim this. It's been a bit. Okay, yeah. So in the last chapter, they went down to Egypt, and Joseph. Uh, and Joseph was like, oh yeah, I have to bring Benjamin or something like that. I believe, if I remember correctly, and uh, and they don't know that's Joseph and stuff like that because of course Joseph was presumed dead or something like that because his brothers sold him off, and then his brothers faked his death or whatever with drenched his robe in blood and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Just skimming through. I'm up to. I just before I started recording this, I read Genesis 48, so I'm a little bit ahead, quite a bit actually in terms of story, but developments. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So in Genesis 43, they're going back to Egypt, and let's get into that. Oh wait, check on before if you do like what you see in this video and want to see more, check out the card, the cue card thing, the card in the right hand corner, that shows up in the first few seconds of the video. Click it, and then you'll be able to see. It'll take you to, and then you click again, and it'll take you to my playlist where I have every verse in the Bible, every chapter in the Bible that I've recovered. That I've recorded up until this point of the NIV version. At some point down the road, in a couple of years, like 2-3 years, around 2.5-3 years from now, God willing, I'm alive still. I will start the New King James Version translation videos. I am reading through it right now, slowly, and as part of my daily readings, and I'm liking what I see so far. It's another kind of like thing where it has like annotations and stuff like that, some commentary. Of course, I'm most likely going to leave a majority of the commentary out of the videos because copyright reasons and stuff like that. And you can, if you want that stuff, you can get the book yourself. Like you can get this book, the Student Bible. This is an old one from like 1970s or something like that, or 1980s. But you can get the newer version. They have a newer version that was like a 2011 update, which is pretty much the same thing as far as I know. It just has some extra maps, which I thought that was cool. I thought about ordering it, but I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, enough of my ramblings. Let's just get on with it. Okay. Now the famine was still severe in the land, so when they had eaten all the grain they had brought from Egypt, their father said to them, "Go back and buy us a little more food." But Judah said to him, "The man warned us solemnly, 'You will not see my face again unless your brother is with you. If you will send our brother along with us, we will go down and buy food for you. But if you will not send him, we will not go down, because the man said to us, You will not see my face again unless your brother is with you.' Israel asked, 'Why did you bring this trouble on me by telling the man you had another brother?' They replied, 'The man questioned us closely about ourselves and our family. Is your father still living?' He asked us, 'Do you have another brother?' We simply answered his questions. How were we to know what he would say? 'Bring your brother down here.' Then Judah said to Israel his father, 'Send the boy along with me, and we will go at once, so that we and you and and our children may live and not die. I myself will guarantee his safety. You can hold me personally responsible for him. If I do not bring him back to you and set him here before you, I will bear the blame before you all my life. As it is, if we had not delayed, we could have gone and returned twice.' Then their father Israel said to them, 'If it must be, then do this. Put some of the best products of the land in your bags and take them down to the man as a gift. A little balm and a little honey, some spices and myrrh, some pistachio nuts and almonds. Take double the amount of silver with you, for you must return the silver that was put back into the mouths of your sacks. Perhaps it was a mistake. Take your brother also and go back to the man at once, and may God Almighty grant you mercy before the man, so that he will let your other brother and Benjamin come back with you. As for me, if I am bereaved, I am bereaved.' So the men took the gifts and doubled the amount of silver, and Benjamin also. They hurried down to Egypt and presented themselves to Joseph. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, 'Take these men to my house, slaughter an animal, prepare dinner. They are to eat with me at noon.' The man did as Joseph told him and took the men to Joseph's house. Now the men were frightened when they were taken to his house. They thought, 'We were brought here because of the silver that was put back into our sacks the first time. He wants to attack us and overpower us and seize us as slaves and take our donkeys.' So they went up to Joseph's steward and spoke to him at the entrance of the house. 'Please, sir,' they said, 'we came down here the first time to buy food, but at the place where we stopped for the night we opened our sacks and each of us found this silver, the exact weight in the mouth of his sack, so we have brought it back with us. We have also brought additional silver with us to buy food. We don't know who put our silver in our sacks.' 'It's all right,' he said. 'Don't be afraid. Your God, the God of your father, has given you treasure in your sacks. I received your silver.' Then he brought Simeon out to them. The steward took the men into Joseph's house, gave them water to wash their feet, and provided fodder for their donkeys. They prepared their gifts for Joseph's arrival at noon, because they had heard that they were to eat there. When Joseph came home, they presented to him the gifts they had brought into the house, and they bowed down before him to the ground. He asked them how they were, and then he said, 'How is your aged father you told me about? Is he still living?' They replied, 'Your servant, our father, is still alive and well,' and they bowed low to pay him honor. As he looked about and saw his brother Benjamin, his own mother's son, he asked, 'Is this your youngest brother, the one you told me about?' And he said, 'God be gracious to you, my son,' deeply moved at the sight of his brother Joseph. Deeply moved at the sight of his brother. Joseph hurried out and looked for a place to weep. He went into his private room and wept there. After he had washed his face, he came out and, controlling himself, said, 'Serve the food.' They served him by himself, the brothers by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves. Because Egyptians could not eat with Hebrews, for that is detestable to Egyptians. The men had been seated before him in the order of their ages, from the firstborn to the youngest, and they looked at each other in astonishment. When portions were served to them from Joseph's table, Benjamin's portion was 5 times as much as anyone else's, so they feasted and drank freely with him. A silver cup and a sack. Now Joseph gave these instructions to the steward of his house. 'Fill the men's sacks with as much food as they can carry, and put each man's silver in the mouth of his sack. Then put my cup, the silver one, in the mouth of the youngest one's sack along with the silver for his grain. And he did as Joseph said. As morning dawned, oh shit. Well, I went a little too far. I was starting to get into 44. So it ended at so they feasted and drank freely with him. Yeah, got a little preview. All right. Anyway, yeah, that was Genesis 43. I got nothing much to say. Joseph has been kind of messing with them a little bit. Like, like with the, like, he's about to do the cup in the sack and be like, "Oh, you stole my cup," or something like. If I remember correctly, I might not remember correctly, but it's stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense, I understand, because they were the ones that sold them into slavery to begin with, so messing with them a little bit is very understandable. I think. But that's not gonna last for too much longer. But yeah, anyway, preview for chapter 44. Yeah, the silver cup in the sack. He's gonna put he's like, yeah, put the cup in the Benjamin sack or whatever, and he's gonna be like, "Oh yes, let me keep him because," or something like that. And Reuben, I think, he's gonna be like, "Dang, you're kind of screwing me over with this because I told my father that I'd bring him back with me and stuff like that, and bunch of and stuff and so on and so forth." And we'll get into that in the next video. So yeah, like I said, check out the playlist if you want, and I'm getting there. I'm almost to Genesis through all of Genesis, man. Genesis has 50 chapters in there. Supposedly it ends up with the death of Joseph. I'm just reading through I'm just looking at the headings, the helpful headings that my Bible, that my version gives, and then we'll get into Exodus in like the next couple weeks or something like that. And then yeah, that should be fun. The Bible gets each book of the Bible gets shorter and shorter, it seems, as it goes along. So like Genesis is 50. Exodus is, let me see, Exodus is 40. Leviticus, let's see, there's like 27 numbers. Oh, even less than that. Yeah. Okay, so Numbers is like 31? 30, 36. Then Deuteronomy, $33, and then, alright. Yeah, which I don't know, I don't know what's even in those books, because I haven't read them yet. I'm not a Bible scholar. I'm learning, dude. I'm learning. But yeah. Anyway, that was Genesis 43, and that's it.